Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first hour of Strategy Room Live here on FoxNews.com. I am Harris Faulkner. I'm your host for the next hour. I have been away on vacation for a couple of weeks, and lo and behold, I come back and I find that the White House is saying this morning that it is not hitting the reset button. Really? They're bringing back the 2008 campaign manager, David Plouffe, who automatically over the weekend started making stronger statements about health care to the tune of, we better get it done, you better get it done, you better get it done now. And you can bet you could probably set an egg timer for how long it's going to take the president to follow suit with that, because we saw on the campaign trail when the very quiet, we don't have a picture of David Plouffe from me because you guys didn't get my email this morning. Boy, I tell you, I was going to say that the White House might not have used a reset button, but they used this. Or could use
that was
one.
Easy.
An easy button. But I think I need one this morning, too, because I sent out a bunch of emails, and I think I sent them to myself. Yeah, that's what vacation will do.
That was easy.
You bet it was. Anyway, the button is for the White House. Because if they haven't set the reset button, it certainly looks like they're pushing some buttons there, bringing the people back who helped get Obama elected to the presidential office now to help further the message of health care. And then after that unexpected, and I got to tell you, we did that interview with Scott Brown the Tuesday before the election, and I was gone on vacation right after that. I got a ton of email, probably from some of you, from people all over the country and the world who don't normally watch this hour of Strategy Room, but when they, Google his name, one of the things that comes up was his Strategy Room talk right here on the Morning Click with all of us, with our team here, and people wanted to say, gosh, he seems so sure of himself, and he seems confident, and the guy's funny, and did you see that centerfold? We didn't talk about that during that interview, but when we have him back, Kevin, can we?
You can certainly try.
Yeah. Hey, and if it doesn't seem like it'll happen,
That was easy.
we'll just push the button. So, Scott Brown then gets in Massachusetts, takes the late Senator Ted Kennedy's seat, and as I watch this in the great state of Arizona, which is where you guys know I like to go and warm up when I can, although they got snow in the mountains, but whatever. As I was watching, I kept thinking to myself, Scott Brown called it. Scott Brown, when he was on our program that Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays ago, he didn't talk about President Obama. In fact, I don't even think he mentioned him once. Did he, Kevin? I don't think he even said his name.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. He didn't even talk about the administration. He didn't even talk about the White House. He didn't have to. He talked about health care, and he talked about big government spending, and that was enough to get people almost apoplectic, knocking each other down to get to the polls. And it would seem many of them would check the independent box. Not so easy for this White House to move forward with its health care agenda from this point on. It'll be really, really interesting to see if they didn't set the reset button, what button they are going to set. To talk with us about this today is Mark Levine, or I should say Mark Levine and David Webb. David Webb, a friend to the Strategy Room. He is the host of The Grinder Show, AM 970, or you can just go to thegrindershow.com and listen and watch online, which is something I like to do, because then David is portable.
That's a scary thought.
No, it's like a bag of chips. Always with me.
You can't have just one?
No, well,
there you go.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Your heart can't take it. But in a good way. Mark Levine has a very interesting biography, and I'm going to read a little bit of it to you. He is our Democratic strategist on the panel today. You're here just today. Where are you normally?
I'm in Washington, D.C. I got a radio show, TV show in Washington, D.C.
Okay, you're in D.C. I knew
right.
about the radio show, but
I
I
came
didn't know
up just to see you.
Now, if only that were true, you'd make me blush. He is a radio TV talk show host, constitutional attorney, gay rights activist, victims' rights crusader, and a Nazi hunter?
I was a Nazi hunter. I'm no longer, I would still hunt them, but there are not that many around anymore. I worked for the Department of Justice back
okay.
at,
okay, it doesn't say DOJ. It just says, yeah, that's good.
Well, that's what we did, though. We looked for Nazi war criminals in the United States. We were
no
Nazi
doubt.
hunters.
No, but
But it's not like Indiana Jones. I mean, I wasn't like looking in the Temple of Doom and trying to find the hidden
the way
door.
the bio is written.
Yeah,
I expected you to have like some khaki and a backpack
Yeah,
on.
sorry. I didn't mean to disappoint
Indiana
you there.
Jones behind you. But anyway, not to make light of that, you worked with the Department of Justice, and you did go after war criminals. A very interesting background. So I want to just pose
And a former congressional attorney. That should be in there. That should be in there. That's not on there too.
You're intelligent and witty.
Oh well, I didn't.
Skip that.
I didn't write that. I didn't write it. So that was.
No, I know you didn't write it.
Wow.
I thought I'd skip that part.
Who did write that? I gotta thank them.
I don't know, but you believe in marriage.
I do believe in marriage.
Okay.
I think every American has the right to get married.
Okay,
As an adult.
God, it's so random.
There's a lot more randomness in my background.
Here's a list of things that Mark is worried about. I'm not going to go into this, but this is very funny.
I'm just curious who wrote this.
You know what I think happens is, and if I want to read more, I apparently can go and watch you on YouTube.
Oh, yes, I have many clips on YouTube. But it's all from my website. I upload them to YouTube, and then they're on my website.
Now, I don't know if you've met David Webb.
I have.
We have.
You have.
David was on my show about a year and a half
I
ago.
was going to suggest that if you guys are not fast friends, you will be by the end of the show.
We met at a radio convention and talked to and at each other for several
quite
hours.
a while. Yeah, we have.
You and Mark Mason, I remember.
I can glimpse it from reading your
Oh, we had it out. Yeah.
Very fun. It's great to have you both here this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Look, I don't want to make too much fun about this whole reset business because I think that there are some salient points to be made about an administration that takes a peek at a couple of races now. Because you had Virginia, the governor's race there. There have been a couple of races where Republicans have stepped up and taken seats where people thought shoe-in for the Democrats. Well, what are your thoughts on this latest one with Massachusetts and now going forward?
Well, it's interesting. The polls show that both the majority of Coakley voters and the majority of Brown voters, Martha Coakley, the Attorney General of Massachusetts, the probably worst candidate in Massachusetts history.
Against John Brown, the Republican who just took the late Teddy Kennedy's seat.
Right. But the polls show that
the Democrats, though, blaming her for something that maybe they didn't
Well,
get done?
when you don't know the name of a Red Sox pitcher like Kurt Schilling and you think he's a Yankees fan, that doesn't go down well in Boston. It really doesn't. When you say that, what do you expect me to do? Be outside Fenway Park shaking hands in the cold?
I think that's reaching,
that's
Mark.
what.
Come on.
Well, that's what
maybe
she said.
She's not into baseball.
Maybe
she's
here's the interesting thing.
Okay.
The majority of Coakley voters and the majority of Brown voters both say that they didn't vote based on Obama and they didn't vote based on health care. They voted based on Coakley and Brown. You mentioned it yourself. Brown was a charismatic candidate, former centerfold, good-looking guy.
Well, I don't think his centerfold abilities got him there. I think that.
Let me ask you this: if a woman had done that, let me ask you this: if a woman had done the centerfold, do you think she could be a sitting member of the United States Senate? Because I don't think so. But I don't know. It hasn't been tried.
Have you seen the picture?
I haven't seen the naked picture. I've seen the one they show on TV.
Yeah.
Have you seen the naked picture? I don't know. I should ask that question.
That shows how I thought that the fold was where the center fold was.
My guess is that little vague portion they show is it's a naked picture. It's a
naked picture, right. But you can't really see anything.
Well, I don't know because I don't read Cosmo very often. But
okay. My point is, if a picture is tasteful, it would not surprise me that a woman or a man could get into politics. Yeah,
really?
I do think.
Okay, I don't know. I we'll see. If a woman ever does that. Do you think a woman who did a centerfold photo could get into the United States?
I could go so many ways.
Yeah, but you didn't see anything. But go ahead.
Well, I don't know because, like I said, I thought it was sort of. I thought it was sort of. Every time you see it on TV, they
I'll find it for you. Go ahead, Dave.
And this is why Mark and I have had many, shall we say, long conversations in the past couple of years. Trust me, we're at a point in this culture on the issue of the picture where I think we've gotten past a lot of that. We had a lot of groundbreaking moments. If we had Barney Frank with a 17-year-old male prostitute, if we had Marion Barry with crack whores and prostitutes, if we had Marion,
not like a 17-year-old,
where his lover was supposedly, allegedly running a prostitution ring out of his apartment.
Years old, and it wasn't his lover. It was the guy that lived down below. So I know you're mixing a bunch of scandals. You confuse Mark Foley and Barney Frank. They're different people.
Okay. Or Duke Cunningham, or Mark Foley, or Larry Craig, or any of those guys, because I would have gone there.
What's that?
That was Mike Straka.
Get your story straight, Webb.
Oh,
okay. That was the
I'm
order
just
from
saying
the
you're
boss.
mixing up your scale.
All right, I mixed them up. But my point is, if you take all of these things over time, we're anesthetized to the idea of politicians doing things that are outside the norm. So I don't think a guy taking I haven't seen the shot, whether it was tasteful or not. I don't know whether it was all nude or not, but I don't think that's going to affect him. And I think women have gotten past that to some degree.
So you think a woman who had a centerfold picture, a naked centerfold picture, could get elected to the United States Senate?
I think
just wanted to be
she could.
fair. I'm just saying if a man could do it, a woman should be able to do it. That's all.
I don't know.
There's a double standard, and you're
I
right
think there
about
is.
that.
Yeah,
you're
there
right
is a
about the
double
double
standard.
standard, but I think in today's culture, I think we've kind of gotten past that. I think everything
Again,
else adds up.
Picture. I think, and Kevin has just informed me because I was sending notes like I'm in second grade, that we do have that picture of Scott Brown.
With,
and
I'm sure.
You've seen the picture,
well,
right?
I'm sure you're not going to show on Fox the actual picture because.
But it is the only picture that's out there, right?
The only picture that's out there has his private parts sort of glossed over.
I have
it's
only
the
seen the
page
top
is where
half
it's
shot.
closed.
So
See, I haven't seen the actual magazine, so I don't know. I assumed